Hi there. I want to talk to you a minute about flipping the AP statistics. And the way I'm going to talk about that is through this framework here: technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge, or TPACK is for short. Okay. So let me go to my pedagogical problem here. So, first of all, I was going to teach an AP statistics class. It was just my second year. I wasn't happy with how everything went. Um, Doing it with the standard materials that I received from the publisher. I was using Starnes and Yates' book, The Practice of Statistics. Nothing wrong at all with the book, but the model of like bookwork for the students I have, um, doing it in the traditional way didn't seem to work. And like when I was thinking about the group that I had coming up, I knew this group I was going to have. So I had 1 to 2 students who were both mathematically prepared for the course and they work hard. So and really this might be just one student in terms of, you know, high, their PSAT and other predictors indicate that they're going to do well. They had a high enough GPA to be selected for this course in most high schools, and they kind of have it together. They have the support from home, and they work hard. Maybe just 1 or 2 like that. Okay, next I had 2 or 3 talented students. We're talking like really talented. I mean, like a 30 on the ACT, a 29 on the ACT, like high math scores and composite scores. But maybe ADHD, so maybe kind of super focused, fantastic work for a while, and then can't focus at all for a while. Executive function, a huge challenge. Maybe not always used to hard work. Okay. Then I had 23 plus students in with these groups who some of them may be hardworking but not mathematically prepared. A lot of them don't know how to study. A lot of them already with their heads beyond high school. And I think an important idea in some of the reading I did this year, one of these is that teaching takes place in a specific context, meaning, if we're going to offer an AP class like at my school, and for a long time math was the only department that didn't have one, we're going to have a group that at least looks somewhat like this. So my problem is, if we're going to offer the class at all, and I think it's important for us to do that for a variety of reasons in terms of, all of our aspirations, including mine, modeling success for other students, setting a high bar for ourselves. There are all sorts of good reasons, for doing this. So step 3 is like how to motivate this group. So that's really my pedagogical problem, and how to deal with the majority of these less ready students, but to still give the higher students a shot. So in other words, we're all familiar with kind of teaching to where we think the middle is, or maybe a little bit above the middle in this case. And then, we lose people on the one end, and our high students are bored. They're never going to finish the material before the test. So that's my pedagogical problem. Okay, so next now I'm thinking of teaching strategies here. So, and by that I'm saying I would like some element of self-pacing so that fast students can go fast, and like they could, we certainly have students in there who are legitimately talented enough / hardworking enough, some combination, to pass the test. So we want some element of self-pacing so that those fast students can go fast. But also, though, if you have, say, 4 or 5 that are in the category that are predicted to be able to do this, and you have 25 that are not and are going to need more support and are going to need to go at a slower pace, realistically, how can we support both those groups? Okay, so we need to. So we would also like a mastery philosophy that focuses on learning standards rather than assignment completion with lots of second chances to show for it. Lots of second chances to show mastery. So what am I talking about there? Well, here, so that goes along with the self-pacing, right? If we're skills focused and we allow a lot of second chances, and we're focusing more on skills rather than compliance and lots of second chances, to me, these elements in terms of strategy make sense. So that's how I came up with let's do standards-based grading with this. Because, I mean, essentially, the compliance, I'm often not going to have that. I'm just not, and if I ask for it, like I'm going to leave a lot of students out. And you're going to try and make this rigid, and everyone has to be doing the same thing at the same time, and that is simply not going to work. Just to review this last point, so some of these are from Rick Wormley. I didn't necessarily use all of these, but in terms of like a source for the philosophy behind this, there's a lot of stuff about this now, but he has a lot of work on standards-based grading, skills rather than compliance, the idea of a lot of second chances, the idea of few hard deadlines. Students are on their own personal timelines for mastery, and like kind of getting teachers beyond, like in the real world, I need to teach you to meet deadlines. And another key big idea he talks about a lot is no zeros, and he has a lot of material out there on this. So now for the technology. So I ended up thinking that a blended approach was going to be best. I mean, to be honest with you, in 2017, I think if you're not doing some kind of blended approach to mathematics instruction, I hope it's at least because your school just doesn't have the technology, because I think for some areas of math, for sure, you got to hunker down and practice. A lot of these tools, like, like for example, this Pearson Excel tool, you have access to a book, a PDF of the section of the book, specifically the section that you're on with the press of a button. You have a view of an example where you can see an example like the example you're working on. You have a help me solve this that'll step you through step by step how to do the question. In some cases, there are videos or animation with this. It's only $15 a person, much better than a regular book. And often this Excel, this learning management system is often like what you see in college often anyway in introductory courses. So, why not use a tool like that if it's available? So we have blended instruction, and as you can see here, 25% of the class grade is through this Pearson Math Excel. Okay. So, but the other key components here are this IPEVO document camera, Edpuzzle, Screencast-O-Matic, YouTube, and then in this case, I'm in Chicago Public Schools, so I'm just using a standard gradebook that's not really designed for standards-based grading. But the idea of this, just a quick rundown, is that with the document camera, so this document camera, let me hold it up here. It's small. I think you can kind of see that here. This isn't the best angle on it, but this camera is about $60. It can fold up in a tiny little case that you can carry it around. It's only, once the thing is folded down, you can just put it in a little case and carry it away real easily. It's not expensive either. So you can just have that at home or take it back and forth to school if you want. It's no big deal. The next thing is, so with Screencast-O-Matic and Edpuzzle. So Screencast-O-Matic, and again, the purpose of this video isn't to kind of give you in detail how to use these tools, but Screencast-O-Matic is a free tool. It's what I'm making this video with now. You generally are going to download something to your computer. It's also as an online component. You can make it quick. You have an area that you're going to record on your screen. With the IPEVO document camera and the Screencast-O-Matic, it's real quick to make your own video. Okay, the last thing is with Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle for my class is a completely free tool. As you can see, I have 170 something plus videos. A lot of these I do make myself, like I said, with the document camera, because I do feel like it helps me connect with my students. This is a high school population I have, and they need to feel like they're connecting with me, and any additional way I can do that, I do. I also, in some cases, take videos from other sources and put those in there. Edpuzzle lets you insert questions into the video. As you can see over here, I can say progress. It will show, if I click on this, it'll give me a report of like student responses to questions that I insert into the videos. Now, did you hear that? Let me say it one more time. I can insert questions into these videos, whether I make it or someone else makes it, for my students to answer. They can do though, they can watch the videos and answer the questions on a phone app, and then I get a report right here of my percent of engagement on those. And like who answered them, whether they're right or wrong, I can have free response, etc. So the way this works then is I'm going to make the video with Screencast-O-Matic and the IPEVO document camera. I'm going to publish that to YouTube and then link that to Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle allows me to insert questions into it and assign it to my class, and then I have progress tracking on whether they're watching it and how much they're understanding it. Last, in terms of the TPACK gradebook, this is maybe for another video, like how this is going to work, but essentially I'm going to set these categories on like just certain dates, and they're all stuck together. So maybe in the first semester, I say October 5th, I put all the videos. November 10th, I put all the assessments. And then this, I have another date, and this, the skills date. The skills is maybe the last day of the semester. Because I'm not working on a timeline anymore, I am working on a mastery basis now. And finally, content knowledge is the last part of the TPACK framework. And for this, it's statistics. So my skills are going to look like things like confidence intervals for proportions. Can my students master those? Two-sample hypothesis testing, sigma known. And then I might have a different skill where I have different types of two-sample hypothesis tests. Can they recognize the different types, etc.? And those are all going to be like found in your curriculum, that your syllabus that you send to the College Board, and those are going to map to what you're going to see on the AP test. And that is where the 55% of the grade comes from. Have they mastered those things or not? The assessment grade is more like a traditional quiz grade, which is, and it's a nod to, are you keeping up with us at all? Like, are you learning on the schedule we're learning on? Just to encourage you to keep up. But again, the main thing, the way that you handle that, you can have office hours once a week where you're going to reteach a low skill from the week before. You can have that more open if you have a library or an intervention specialist who can work with students to, help them master skills that maybe are a month old or 2 months old that for whatever reason they didn't finish. And finally, on the final, you can really have a chance to, let's take a look at all these skills again. Let's prepare. Let's look at skills that we didn't master. Let's not bother with those that we did master. Let's look at ones that we didn't master. And if we can show mastery, then I'm going to flip your skill level on this. And the result of this philosophy, I'm telling you, we have more years to implement this thing, but I'll have students coming to me with a 40% overall in the class. And this is with a month of school to go, a senior whose head might not be totally in the game, giving me more quality work. These Excels are not easy. You cannot copy them. They're generated individually for each student. They're still doing those. They're redoing skills with an intervention specialist. They want to meet and work on this. And why? Because they're never out of the game. Because it's not about compliance and whether they were there and handed in something from 6 months ago. It's about, are they learning statistics? And if I give them many ways to learn statistics, videos, a book, animations, PDFs of the book, view an example, many routes to learn it, they always feel like there's still a shot, and I'm able to get very close, compared to last year, so close to finishing most of this curriculum, which is very demanding for where we are as a school right now, and is super exciting. Okay, thank you.